man, love spring practice. You know, just told the group, every play there's an opportunity. And not all of them go well, but there's great opportunities to learn and get better. And what we're trying to do in this spring practice is each season, each team has a chance to start and trying to build who you're going to be. You're building your foundation pieces. And, you know, the nice thing about you're looking for guys that can do it consistently. There's players that's you know, whether the plays, the way the offensive play is, the defensive play, there's an opportunity to make a play and guys jump up and if they can make that play, that's their opportunity. It's good. So you'll see guys throughout the course of spring make plays, and that doesn't just happen. You know, I thought there's good effort all around. You know, you put it into situations, and I think still some of the younger guys have a tendency to run plays, and they got to remember it's part of a situation. You know, down the goal line, Chryst makes a heck of a play, and you know, you look at it from the offensive end, you say you got to finish that. You look at it from the defensive end, and you say that's a heck of a play. And so, great opportunities to learn, great opportunities to get better, and I think each guy has to own their part in their improvement, and if each individual improves, then we improve as a team. And I think they're giving us great effort. I appreciate that, and they're fun to be around. And you know, we got a long ways to go, but I like their intentions. And like I said, it's spring ball's a blast, and you just got to take advantage of every opportunity. Not that it always goes your way, but they're all great learning opportunities.
Well, you don't have Dan Bolts for this spring, but where in your mind is the offensive line? Not only the number one unit you're working with, but the depth at this point.
I think they're certainly working, and they're getting better. You know, I think that we had a lot of guys that played last year and they were inexperienced, and I think they've done a good job, and Rudy's done a nice job of. It's a whole lot different when you're watching the film and learning. You're the guy on the screen. You see it. They understand the importance of being 6 inches off or right on the target. So I think there's been really good growth, but certainly we've got a ways to go.
You thought highly enough of Ryan Ramczyk to put him at left guard to start spring. What's impressed you most through your practices about what he's been doing?
I think Ryan's, you know, he's a talented football player, and you know, that's a good starting point. And I think it's important to him, and you know, he's like the whole group. And I think there's good in him, and it's being consistent. And you know, the beautiful thing about offensive line players, there are so many techniques, so many little things that are hugely important. And I think Ram's done a nice job of working. And you know, certainly we think he's a talented player. And you know, he's not season ready, but we don't need to be spring practice.
What did you see in him when you first made the contact?
Well, we knew about Ryan when he was coming out in high school, and that year we went to Pitt. We offered him, and he didn't want to go out east, and so he was a big, athletic, good football player, and you know, we feel fortunate that he wanted to come here, and it worked out, and love having him on this team. Sure.
With the quarterbacks, it seems like at times there's been interceptions,
Absolutely.
maybe more than you'd want. How do you approach that now that it's April? Is it okay, or?
But there's so many things. You know, the interceptions are easy because you guys see it. You know, you can sit on the sidelines and keep a tally. This is complete. This is incomplete. You know, there's times when the quarterback's doing a good job, and the route depth also looks like it's a short pass. You know, the other day you got some slips. You know, you want them thrown on time, and receiver slips and balls out. And there's, you know, a couple ones that aren't picked that you're saying that's not a good choice. These are all learning opportunities, and it's no different. You know, quarterback, it's easier to evaluate because everyone sees it, and you can sit on the side and keep track easier. But you know, there's a lot of things that go into it, and the thing I love is that we talk about this all the time with quarterbacks. If you make a mistake, and if it stings, to where when we all, as a kid, don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove. You touch it, it's hot, it burns. If you internalize it and you don't feel good about it, then you're going to learn from it. And I think in spring you got to figure out where are the windows. You know, how small a window can you throw in? You don't know until you try. You don't grow until you push yourself out of your comfort zone. That's, we're talking about quarterbacks, you can put that in every position. So it's, I think they're all great opportunities to learn from or to build on.
Is there any chance Tyndall can play any wide receiver this year, or is it just shortage of numbers there?
No, I mean, it's both, and I think, every individual you got to see if they're, you can't put too much on their plate. But I love, DT and Sojourn. They saw we were low on receivers, and both of them came up and says, "Coach, if you need me to run some routes, I'll run some routes." And you appreciate that because these guys care about this team, and that's why they're doing it. And it was, you appreciate that. All right, thanks.
Thank you.